here now, and look who I've just found, Simon. Simon Cross, how are you?
Well, I'm very well, thank you.
And what have you been up to?
Well, since we last saw each other when it was 100 degrees, it's now 0 degrees.
Wonderful to see you.
Yes, and you.
Now, Simon, I hear that
Yes.
you've been upsetting my favourite show.
Yuck.
So,
yes.
now tell me what's been going on.
Well, lots has been going on. I mean, obviously, the last time I saw you, it was all a bit hush-hush, but now everybody knows that I made an appearance. I call it an appearance in this year's X Factor.
That's right, indeed.
Yeah, I made my presence to the audition room and entertained the nation about 3 weeks ago.
So you made it through to boot camp.
I did. I actually made it through the audition. But one of the rants that I've got is that with the X Factor is the editing this year has been so sort of like quick and also left very, very vague. Did they or didn't they? No one really knows.
Because no one really knew that you actually got through to the boot camp, did they?
Well, no. So I'm going to set the record straight. Yeah, I was, because the thing is, what was a 2-hour audition was 51 seconds. So like I was sitting around all day and it really was 90 degrees that day at Thorpe Park, absolutely sweltering with not a drink, nothing to eat. They don't give you anything to eat, no real refreshment. So obviously you sit there by choice. I did a 2-hour audition, let alone a 40-minute conversation like we're having now outside. They didn't show any of it. None of it.
Does that disappoint you? Do you, or at the time, are you kind of told that you're actually going to be shown, this footage is going to be shown, or are you filmed constantly and you don't? You're
filmed constantly. They don't leave you alone. You do a lot of interviews. You do a lot of stuff in the audition room. I had 3 yeses from the judges. Simon Cowell gave me a yes. He stood up, he shook my hand, he hugged me, and he said I was a really nice guy. And he said, with my energy, can you give me a bit of your energy? Can I have a bit of your energy?
But
they didn't show any of it.
Yeah,
no,
we didn't
none of
see
it.
that, did we? Now, how does that make you feel? Because obviously your audience didn't get to see that. We just got to see a little second.
It frustrates me and it angers me that people didn't see the proper reaction to what my audition really was. The X Factor make you look, I'm losing my words. It makes the public, deceives the public. They don't really see the truth in.
So what you're saying is you're filmed, but actually the public don't get to see the real kind of.
It's not a real show. It's not a real show.
Do you think they put together pieces of it just to make it what it now is?
Without a doubt, Monica, my audition and my reaction from the judges, especially from Simon, that day was not what people saw. It was a clip taken from another clip. Naughty! Bad. That's the editing. The editing of the X Factor, I will give them credit, it's very, very clever, but it's not fair on the contestants because it's not really what happened. So Simon's facial expressions, in particular Simon, the others weren't too bad. He's like looking in disbelief at me, yet the whole way through my audition, he was smiling, he was tapping. He even, because I sang Let Me Entertain You, Robbie Williams, on the chorus, he actually told the crew behind him to get up and start dancing. The whole room were on their feet, and that is the absolute God's honest truth.
And we don't see
Didn't see any of it.
Yeah, so
Nicole got up, she didn't show her doing that. Sharon was tapping away. Even Louis was smiling. They all loved it, but the audition was very, very quick, and you didn't see me get my feedback, my yeses, my no's, whatever. Didn't see any of it. So it's not a true statement of what it really was.
I was going to say, so don't feel you had a kind of true representation.
No,
really,
no.
So how has that left you feel? How's that experience left you
I'm very angry about the X Factor. I think it's a show that I don't regret it. I'm glad that I went there because it's kind of got me out there again. But I expected to go a little bit further. I expected to be shown properly and truthfully, and that's why I'm angry about it. To get down to the nuts and bolts of the X Factor, I think it's a very, very brutal, I use the word brutal, it's a brutal show. I don't like the way it treats the people entering it. I think they break a lot of rules.
I think
they're harsh words. I know you're a big fan.
No, I can see that your whole experience has left you very, very angry.
I am angry.
And very, very upset by it.
Yeah.
Where do you go from here, Simon, for you?
Well, I mean, can I still talk about the X Factor?
Of course.
So, yes, I did get through to boot camp. I did get through to boot camp. I did get through to boot camp. They didn't show it, but I was at boot camp. But they never showed my boot camp audition. The reason they didn't show my boot camp audition, I think, is because the other 3 people that I was in the sing-off with weren't shown in the audition room.
Right.
So it made no sense just showing me.
So again, editing.
Editing, but then why spend all that time working on a song throughout the night, performing it, getting the yes, getting the no, and you're not even seen, yet they saw me in the waiting area making a few comments to another contestant, but they never showed any more. So the public don't know where I've gone. I get people coming up to me daily, are you still in the X Factor? And I don't say, I said, wait and see, wait and see.
So you've been left on a limb, really?
Well, left on a limb, or they might just whiz me back in there as the
You
wild
never know.
card.
You never
Well,
know.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
I was saying, if they asked you to come back, would you go back in?
Well, what, into the show?
Yes.
Well, I would have to think very, very carefully. I'd have to talk to my agent about it,
Yes,
of course.
of
One and only
course.
Barry Toons. But I'm not quite sure. I didn't like the, I'm going to use the word fake.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fake. I didn't like the scripted. I'm really spilling the beans on the show. What I saw in that show, and I have got a bit of a brain. I can work it out. I was in disbelief.
Really?
Yeah, in the boot camp. Yeah, we're talking whispers in ears. Literally before
Really?
contestants start singing. I don't want to say any more. I will say more if you want me to say more.
No.
But what goes on? Well, life goes on. The X
Yes.
Factor was just a small proportion of my life. I've got loads of things coming up. So I'm doing Children in Need this
Absolutely,
year for
November.
BBC in Birmingham.
That's right, BBC West
So I'm
Midlands.
going to be doing Showbiz Sings the Showstoppers.
Fantastic.
Oh yes.
And you're also in the...
I'm in Panto, yes.
of
I'm
course,
going to be playing the Queen Showbiz in
Wonderful.
Snow White and the Seven Puffs at the Sanctum Hotel, Soho, from the
Wonderful.
15th of December. So I've got Panto lined up for
Brilliant.
Christmas. And every
Lots of
day
exciting
there's
things.
something different happening. I'm really, the X Factor is not my life. It was just a small moment of my
A
life.
stepping stone.
It was a stepping stone, and it was a chance to get showbiz out there, and the audition was fun, it was harmless, and to be honest with you, I think I got off quite lightly with the X Factor,
Bless
but
you.
I'm ready to spill the beans.
Well, Simon, pleasure to meet you
Yes.
as always again.
And Showbiz.
Take care. Take care. And this is Mr Showbiz.
Showbiz!
Bye.